Okay, we'll get started with the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please.
Corbin,
Here.
Zupan,
Here.
Fosberg,
Here.
Wicks,
Here.
Jones is absent, Walrod.
Here.
Schwartz,
Here.
Wynn is absent, Pinard,
Here.
During,
Here.
Reuter,
Here.
Cunningham's absent, Stokes absent, Stepanski,
Here.
Becker,
Here.
Kavanaugh,
Here.
Roberts,
Here.
Maglioka,
Here.
Du Bois. Here. 1,361 votes present.
Okay, need a motion to approve the minutes from our previous meeting. Motion by Mr. Reuter, second. Second by Mr. Wicks. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried. Okay. Communications reports of committees.
We have a vouchers payable report submitted by Finance Director Luann Randall in the amount of $4,451,692.56.
All right, we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna move public comment up to first. So we have Marcia, do you want to come up and speak? Right up to the podium back there. Is the microphone on? Okay. You have 3 minutes. Yep.
Congratulations and for your retirement and the good times you're going to have from now on. No stress. And we're going to miss you.
Thank you.
My question has to do with the landfill, as you might have guessed. I'm wondering about traffic routes. And I understand, of course, that the town of Lincoln, as the host community, will get some compensation. But if the trucks, 18-wheelers full of trash, get off the thruway at exits 33 or 34, is there any compensation for the city of Oneida or the two villages of Canastota and Wampsville?
I'm sure Mark will get back to you on that. It's a public comment period, so we're listening to comments, Marcia.
Thank you.
Yep. Anybody else? Okay. Resolutions.
Our first resolution today is in respect to the death of John A. Reinhardt. This is Pete Walrod, Chairman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, a fine gentleman to work with. I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution is made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Roberts. Is there any discussion? I knew John for quite a while, and he worked as the zoning administrator at the IDA with Pete Can. Then when Pete left, he was looking to retire, and we got him to stay as the intern IDA director. And then he was still looking to retire, and we conned him into being a supervisor from the city of Oneida. And he never let me forget that he didn't want to be around me because I kept conning him into coming back for different jobs. John was always a gentleman, always had kind words to say. Cindy Ertz would say that that John was the only one that kept all the department heads to their guns, and the department heads that, it was planning. Scott will attest to that you had to have your resolutions in on time or they weren't flying that month. They'd have to wait another month. And John always stuck to that, and he took the job seriously, and he's an honorable guy and a gentleman, and we wish him peace. Him and Carol both. Carol passed away the past year or two, and just can't say enough about it. With that, all in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried.
Our next resolution is a resolution of appreciation for retiree recognition. This is Pete Walrod, Chairman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Bernard. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried. Okay, we'll have Denise come up first with Michael. Three minutes, Mike.
I usually try to wing this, but Denise has been wonderful in DMV. So I wrote it down because I didn't want to get emotional. Denise started serving the county in October of 2002 as a part-time MVR hired by O. Perry Tooker III. He promoted her to a full-time position in early 2003. In 2006, her boss in the DMV, Ken Kunkel, became her boss over in the clerk's office, and she began working under Diana Wilson in DMV. In 2014, Denise Rowe became Denise's boss as the county clerk, and Denise was soon promoted to senior MVR, a position that she's held for the last several years. When I became her boss in 2018, she continued on as senior MVR. She has been a consistent face behind the counter, taking care of customers for over 20 years. She's enjoyed working for the county so much that two of her sons followed her into civil service here at the county. She's looking forward to spending more time with her grandchildren and her children. But if interest rates come back down and the dealership market heats back up, we'll be bringing her back in as a part-time MVR to help us with that paperwork. I had a great opportunity to get to know Denise the last 6 years, and she has a big heart for the people she works with and for the people that she serves behind the counter. I wish you all the best in your retirement and look forward to our paths crossing throughout the next several years. Do you want to say anything?
Next, we have Mike Fitzgerald with 32 years from DSS, Commissioner DSS. Are we both gonna give him this? Congratulations, Commissioner. I had a great shtick that I played for when he was the president of the public welfare organization for the state. And I went to their meeting, their conference that they had. It was a top 10. And anyways, the main gist of it was Mike had a Superman cape on by the time it was all done, because, you know, Mike's done a great job at DSS. Always kept a handle on things, and we've always appreciated that over here. And, Pete Walrod will attest, and anybody that has sat on the Human Services Committee, there's a different side to the county. There's a different side to the human part of our county. And Mike's played a big part of it. And, I appreciate everything you've done, Mike. So thank you.
And I know I got to meet Mike back in my first term here in the personnel department. I'll never forget Mike's first day as commissioner. He came into the personnel office, sat with myself and my boss at the time, Mary Krause, and he came up with his spreadsheet of management structure that he was going to propose. And let's just put it this way, there's a lot of layers to that structure, right, Mike? When I came back to the county in 2009, Mike was the first department head to welcome me back. We've had a great relationship. We worked well together over the years. Mike doesn't just care about social services. He cares about Madison County. We've had a lot of conversations over the years, other than DSS stuff, about the county and leadership and the things that have been accomplished here. And just thank you for everything you've done for us. You've done an awesome job and appreciate it.
You bet.
Yeah, thank you. Give it to you.
Thank you.
So I do have a little bit of a speech. I just told Jessica that it got a little longer over the last 24 hours. So, 3 minutes is what I got.
Mike's only 3 minutes.
All right. That's right. I'm a resident, no longer an employee, right? That's so first, thank you to this board, previous boards that come before you, and obviously boards going into the future. Having worked here for 32 years, last 20 as the DSS commissioner, I've certainly known many of you, through the work here at the county. And the support you provide Madison County, DSS, and me in particular. Having survived an untold number, I've tried to go back and like figure out how many board members I've worked with over, even the 20 years. It's just, it's untold. But I have had 4 committee chairs, 2 of whom are sitting with us today, Alex Stepanski from the town of Stockbridge and Mary Kavanaugh most recently from the city of Oneida. And 2 board chairs, Chairman Becker and Rocky D. Veronica from the town of Lenox. I've had the joy of working with both of those. And I know you don't do this job for money or fame. And so this community cherishes your commitment to what you do here every month. So on to Chairman Becker. He was my second chairman once I had served a few years under Rocky, and the longest serving for the past 16. The first meeting with John, Paul Miller's here. He could tell the story as well as I. Paul was a county administrator, and John had called me over to what I will refer, I don't see any small children here, for a ass chewing. Well-deserved. And as we were leaving John's office, Paul turned to me and said, well, after 25 years in the Marine Corps, that's an ass chewing. And it was. But I think that's the thing I've always appreciated about John. He's passionate, his unwavering commitment to Madison County, and to do the things that's right, not the easy. Leaving with John is very bittersweet for me. This isn't how I intended to have my last board meeting with you all, knowing that this is the chairman's last board meeting. But I know he supports his town and this county, the departments and offices, and mostly the employees. I only hope the next board chair can continue to be the person that Chairman Becker has been to me, my staff, and everyone here in Madison County. That's sincere. To Mark, my third county administrator, and as Mark has recently observed, I'm the lone department head that was here when he returned back. And Mark and I were close before he left to go to ESF, before he became a traitor, but he comes back. And we've enjoyed a great sense of camaraderie over the years. Again, not just regarding DSS stuff, but, countywide issues. I'm interested in politics. I've always have been. That's my major in college, political science. So he and I have always had great conversations. And I was always clear with Mark that he was my boss. If he told me to do something, that's what we were going to do. I could certainly raise my objection, give him information that he may not have, but at the end of the day, Mark was the boss and we went forward with that. But I always appreciated that Mark understood the other side of that, there's reasons that, we need to consider. And I told Mark a few years ago that I wanted to retire, still being his friend. And I will say that we have grown closer and stronger, and our friendship has endeared. And I appreciate that. Thanks to my staff, most notably the 7 deputy commissioners I've had over my 20 years, 3 of whom are here today. 1 of whom will become the new commissioner here in a few short weeks. And so, for me, that's an honor that the next commissioner was chosen from within DSS. That says to me that we're doing great work. I also have a great group of directors and supervisors at DSS, and our frontline staff who do the hard work every day, as the chairman said. They make sure that the lives of our citizens are better than they would have been without us. Be remiss to not mention my right hand, Michelle Browell, my secretary for the last several years. I often say that she runs the agency. That is no joke. She has been my eyes, ears, and often my mouth over the last several years. And I will truly miss Michelle, most especially her stories of her grandchild, Oliver, and her grandpuppy, Trigger. Where's Michelle back there? Closing up, appreciate all the department heads, county elected officials, and your staffs who I've had the privilege to work with in the last 32 years. I come to recognize you not only as colleagues, but friends. You got to always count on you to help out in a DSS situation where we needed to help a family, a child, a person. and that they could always count on DSS to do likewise. We are always there. And finally, unfortunately, my wife and family can't be here today. They are actually working. And my new son-in-law, James, there's been many times over the past, 32 years that I haven't been able to be home because of obligations here at the county. And even when I was home, maybe I was distracted by something going on. And so, my retirement will be a gift to them to have me undistracted from life here at the county. So 32 years, starting as a social welfare examiner at DSS, then a caseworker director, and then commissioner for the last 20 years. I have decided it's time to turn over the reins to the next era. They are ready. And I can honestly look back with no regrets at all the stuff the department has been able to accomplish. And I know I'm leaving it in good hands. I'm going to remain in the area. We built a house a few years ago in the town of Casanova. So we are remaining in the area. We remain yeah, some guy named Zupan or something. I don't know. Or my other neighbor, yeah, Colenso, yeah, he's a good guy. So we are going to remain in the area, going to remain a resident of Madison County, town of Casanova. Hope to continue working at Stonely Housing, continue my efforts to provide better housing, more stable housing for lowest resource folks in the community. Also going to be teaching at Colgate University. And so I'm really looking forward to digging into some topics there that I've had a huge interest in the last couple of years. The county has supported me and my family over the years. We've had, plenty of trials and tribulations in my family. And the county's always been there for me. And I can't repay any of that, but I know that kindness and I will never forget it. I hope I was able to say thank you and goodbye to as many of you as I have been able to over the last couple of months. And I just want you to know that what you do here at Madison County matters. It's important, and what DSS does is really important. And I close with, for a guy who came here unemployed, Army veteran, recent college graduate, hoping just to find a job until I could find something better. The last 32 years has been the best job I could ever imagine. So thank you all. Take care, man.
Okay. Let's get on with it.
Our next resolution is recognizing county employees for graduating from the NACO Professional Development Academy. This is also Pete Walrod, Chairman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I want to give congratulations to these three folks that completed this. And I saw Howie Fleming as I was leaving a meeting or so ago in passing, and Howie was very enthusiastic about, completing this, what she'd learned. And I'm assuming that John Reagan will have some new insights and advice from Howie after this. So I move this resolution.
He's right behind you, looking at
you. Move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution is made, seconded by Mr. Roberts. Is there any discussion? I want to congratulate Melissa During, Holly Fleming, and Shelley DeGroat all on a successful graduation from the program. So, any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried.
All right, we have a public hearing regarding local law number 7 of 2023, fixing the salaries of certain county officials for the year 2024.
Okay, need a motion to open the public hearing, please. Motion by Mr. Walrod, seconded by Ms. Kavanaugh. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried. All right. Is there anybody here to speak for or against fixing the salaries of certain county employees for the year 2024? No? Don't all speak at once. We'll have to have sheriff escort you out, whatever. Okay. Seeing none, I need a motion to close the public hearing. Motion by Mr. Reuter, second by Ms. Schwartz. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carry.
Okay, moving forward with our Government Operations Committee preferred agenda. Resolution number 4 is designating newspapers for 2024. Number 5 is appointing a budget officer and deputy budget officer. Number 6 is reappointing the county highway superintendent. Resolutions 7, 8, and 9 are amending personnel policy procedure, one for employee separation policy, the lactation of time away from work policy, as well as the exposure control plan policy. Resolution number 10 is authorizing an increase to per visit rate for teachers of the speech and hearing impaired. Resolutions 11 through 14 are authorizing the chairman to enter and modify into agreements with Excelis Health Plan, Park Strategies, Tyler Technologies, and Civic Plus. Resolution number 15 is establishing salaries of certain managerial and confidential employees for 2024. Number 16 is revising the Madison County Management Compensation Plan. Number 17 is endorsing Madison County Shared Services Plan. 18 is selecting an administrative service agency and financial organization for deferred comp program and authorizing the chairman to enter into an agreement with Empower Retirement. And resolution number 19 is authorizing a renewal with Lifetime Benefit Solutions. This is Pete Walrod, Chairman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption.
Resolution is made.
John,
Second
could
by
I
Ms.
ask
Schwartz,
to-
plus a question? Yep.
I have a question. Could we pull 12 and 16 out, please, for the regular agenda?
Any other discussion? I'd like to say that we're reappointing our highway superintendent, Joe Wazinski. Joe's out right now, taking care of a few personal items, and he's done a great job for this county. He's continues to do a good job. After we did the Oneida Nation deal, we got the highway department back on track, and they're back to paving what they were and maintaining the roads the way they have, and I think Joe is very deserving of being reappointed again. Right, Bill? Yes, okay, so. Okay, anybody
John,
else?
I
Roll
have
call.
some questions
Yes.
about 17,
Okay,
the shared services. I know that there are several of my council members that would not be agreeable to the county-based assessor or codes enforcement or animal control. So,
Rhonda, that's only if the towns want to do that. I just put in the shared services plan, so towns that want to do that, we can get credit with the Department of State for money if they do it. So
Perfect.
it's
Thank you.
only if they want to, it's not that we're doing it.
okay, thank you
okay,
very
I
much.
think we
I
had to
appreciate
put,
that.
Pulling 16, 17 in a motion to pull it out, correct?
You just need one supervisor. That's the poll.
Okay. all
Yeah,
right,
just
okay, all right,
do it.
good, Rhonda? Everything good? Okay, roll call, please.
Stupansky,
Yes.
Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Maglioka.
Aye.
Du Bois.
Aye.
Corbin.
Yes.
Zupan.
Yes.
Fosberg.
Yes.
Wicks.
Yes.
Walrod.
Aye.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Wynn.
Yes,
Pinard.
Aye.
During.
Aye.
Reuter.
Aye.
1,392 votes.
Carried.
Moving forward with our Finance, Ways and Means Committee, resolutions 20 through 22 are all authorizing the modification of the 2023 adopted county budget for Madison Transit, for hospital and medical insurance and county attorney's office. And number 23 is authorizing the chairman to accept grant funds with New York State Stop DWI Foundation and modify the 2023 county budget. This is Matt Roberts, Chairman, Finance, Ways and Means.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Ms. During. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Roberts. Maglioka.
Aye.
Du Bois.
Aye.
Corbin.
Yes.
Zupan.
Yes.
Fosberg.
Yes.
Wicks.
Yes.
Walrod.
Aye.
Schwartz. Wynn.
yes,
Pinard.
Aye.
During.
Aye.
Reuter. Stupansky.
Yes.
1,392 votes.
Carried.
Moving forward, our Criminal Justice, Public Safety, Emergency Communications Committee. Resolutions 24 through 28 are all authorizing the chairman to enter into agreements. The first is with the Village of Casanova. 25 is for AK Associates. 26 is with Mead LLC. 27 is Traffic Safety Research. And 28 is with Abraham Massara. This is Rex Fosberg, Chairman, Criminal Justice, Public Safety.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption.
Resolution has been made, seconded by Mr. Walrod. Is there any discussion? No, we're gonna go with Mr. Zupan because it's probably one of his last ones that gets a second. So we'll get his name in the history books one more time. So seconded by Mr. Zupan. Okay, any discussion? All in favor? Oh, no, roll call, please.
Kavanaugh. Roberts. Maglioka.
Aye.
DuBois.
Aye.
Corbin.
Yes.
Zupan.
Yes.
Fosberg.
Yes.
Wicks.
Yes.
Walrod.
Aye.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Wynn.
Yes.
Kennard.
Aye.
During.
I,
Reuter. Stepanski.
Yes.
Becker.
Aye,
1,392 votes.
carried.
Going into our regular agenda resolutions, resolution number 29 is adopting local law number 7 of 2023, fixing the salaries of certain county officials. This is Pete Walrod, Chairman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Ms. Kavanaugh. Is there any discussion? Did you guys fix the salary on the chair?
That's separate from
Okay,
this.
all right, okay. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 30 is modifying budget transfer procedures. This is Matt Roberts, Chairman, Finance, Ways and Means Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Bernard. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 31 is authorizing the county chairman and clerk to the Board of Supervisors to sign, seal, and deliver tax warrants for fiscal year 2024. Matt Roberts, Chairman, Finance and Ways.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Wicks. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 32 is levying unpaid water, sewer, light, demolition, and maintenance fees for various towns and the city of Oneida onto the 2024 combined tax bills. This is Matt Roberts, Chairman, Finance, Ways and Means Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolutions are made, seconded by Ms. Wynn. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Roberts. Maglioka.
Aye.
DuBois.
Aye.
Corbin.
Yes.
Zupan.
Yes.
Fosberg.
Yes.
Wicks.
Yes.
Walrod.
Aye.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Wynn. Kennard.
Aye.
During.
I,
Reuter. Stepanski. Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh. 1,392 votes.
Carried.
Resolution number 33 is authorizing the chairman to enter into an agreement with Coordinated Care Services. This is Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Health and Human Services Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made, second. Second by Mr. Bernard. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 34 is authorizing the chairman to enter into an agreement with Erie Mechanical Contractors. This is Bill Zupan, Chairman, Highway, Buildings and Grounds Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made, seconded by Mr. Vosberg. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 35 is authorizing the chairman to enter into an agreement with C&D Advertising. This is John Bernard, Chairman, Planning Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made, seconded by Ms. Wynn. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 36, authorizing the chairman to enter into an agreement to accept all alternative daily landfill operating cover material. This is Matt Roberts, Vice Chair, Solid Waste Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Ms. Schwartz. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 37 is authorizing taxing district grants and modifying the 2023 adopted county budget. This is Matt Roberts, Chairman, Finance, Ways and Means Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made, seconded by Mr. Reuter. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Maglioka,
Aye.
Du Bois,
Aye.
Corbin,
Yes.
Zupan,
Yes.
Fosberg,
Yes.
Wicks.
Yes.
Walrod,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
Kennard,
Aye.
During,
Aye.
Reuter, Stepanski, Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh, Roberts.
Aye.
1,392 votes.
Carried.
Resolution number 38 is authorizing the modification of the 2023 adopted county budget. This is Matt Roberts, Chairman, Finance, Ways and Means Committee.
I got a lot of resolutions today, don't I?
You do.
You do.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Joe, you want to get in the books? Second by Joe Maglioka. Is there any discussion? Okay,
Your
roll
roll
call.
call. Du Bois,
Aye.
Corbin, Zupan, Vosberg,
Yes.
Wicks.
Yes.
Walrod.
Aye.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
Kennard,
Aye.
During,
Aye.
Reuter, Stepanski, Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh, Roberts, Maglioka. 1,392 votes.
Carried.
Resolution number 39 is authorizing the chairman to enter into an agreement with Wanderers Rest Humane Association for dog shelter services. Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Health and Human Services Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made, seconded by Ms. During. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 40 is authorizing the chairman to enter into an agreement with Kraus Health Hospital. Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Health and Human Services Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made, seconded by Ms. Dubois. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye. Anybody opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 41 is authorizing the chairman to enter into an agreement with New York State Office of Indigent Legal Services on behalf of Madison County Assigned Counsel Program. Rex Vosberg, Chairman, Criminal Justice Public Safety Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made, seconded by Mr. Wicks. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried.
Yep. We're going to go back to resolution number 12. This is authorizing the chairman to enter into an agreement with Park Strategies. This is Pete Walrod, Chairman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, move this resolution for adoption.
Second. Second by Mr. Roberts. Is there any discussion?
Move to table.
You do realize that you're gonna have to take this back up when we do the landfill thing.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
I would like an opportunity to discuss a
Yeah,
20%
turn it
raise
into a
to
real-
Park Strategies. I think it's excessive and we haven't had an
The
opportunity.
amount's the same as last time,
Same.
It's exactly the
Yeah.
same?
120.
Okay,
So what are we doing?
okay, then I'll withdraw my resolution.
All
I
right.
just thought it was an increase.
No.
Yep, thank you.
Same.
All right. All in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 16 is revising the Madison County Management Compensation Plan. This is Pete Walrod, Chairman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Second. Second by Mr. Stepanski. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, John, I just wanted the specifics of what was the changes, because it talked about tenure and I don't have it in front of me. 60. Tenure and I don't know. I know when I had it in front of me, I was concerned about it. I don't know. It came from government ops. Anybody? Yeah. Pete, do you remember?
Yeah. I'll pull it up on my phone.
Come on, Pete, let's get on it.
Thank you. My county computer told me it was locked me out. Okay, terminal benefits. That's what I was wondering. What were the what was the change in terminal benefits?
That would be,
Thank you.
well, actually, is Ryan or Sean here to speak to it? Probably know more knowledge than I. Yeah.
So the changes to the terminal benefits, the cap for severance pay for management confidential employees hasn't been changed in 7 years. So we adjusted it up to coincide with the increases of salary increases over the last 7 years. The other change was for health insurance, for post-employment, we added the title of county administrator to match the same benefit as health insurance benefits for elected officials.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Sean.
No other questions? Okay. All in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried. Who's running this show? Everybody's
I'll
sitting there
run it.
with long faces like you just got done watching paint dry. But you actually got a lot accomplished. We're not like in Albany or Washington.
I tried to speak fast. All right, we're gonna move forward with recognizing some of our outgoing supervisors. Our public information office worked really hard on getting some of these videos together. So we have 3 exiting supervisors. Supervisor Zupan from the town of Cazenovia, Supervisor Maglioka from the city of Oneida, as well as our board chairman, John Becker from the town of Sullivan. So the first video that we have is recognizing Supervisor Zupan as well as Supervisor Maglioka.
Can we show, is this a PG thing or is it an actual Zoom?
This is the,
Because
yeah,
we gotta be careful.
these are well-behaved videos.
A few short weeks at the beginning of 2024.
The story you
New
told
faces
us
around the
last
horseshoe.
night.
We would like to take some time to give our best wishes to those supervisors who are moving on to their next adventure. Supervisors Joe Maglioka and Bill Zupan have served for a combined 28 years here at the county. It requires a special individual who is willing to sacrifice time to support not only their local community, but also the county as a whole. We thank you both for the great service you have provided the residents of Madison County.
Joe Maglioka began representing the city of Oneida Wards 4, 5, and 6 on the Madison County Board of Supervisors in 2016. During his time at the county, he served on the Native American Affairs Committee, the Criminal Justice, Public Safety, and Emergency Communications Committee, and the Health and Human Services Committee. Currently, Maglioka serves on the Planning, Economic Development, Environmental, and Intergovernmental Affairs Committee, where he is very involved. Supervisor Maglioka also served as the Vice Chairman of the Public Utilities Service Committee, where he was part of the Madison County Rural Broadband Project. Prior to his service with the county, Maglioka served as a Ward 5 councilman for the city of Oneida from 1997 to 2001. He has been active in bettering the city of Oneida since 1996 when he became active in the Save the Mount Hope Reservoir campaign. He's continued being active locally by working tirelessly on the Oneida Rail Trail project that is an 11.3-mile non-motorized multi-use trail that connects the village of Wampsville to the city of Oneida and on to the city of Sherrill. The Barks and Recs Dog Park opened this year, and he also serves on the Community Cats Committee. Joe is also the president of the Oneida Improvement Committee. In 2017, Joe was chosen to receive the Distinguished Citizen Award from the Central New York Recreation and Park Society. These are just a few of the great accomplishments Supervisor Maglioka has had a hand in the city of Oneida during his tenure. There are many more. We would like to thank Supervisor Joe Maglioka for his service and time. Oneida and Madison County are better for your time and commitment with us, and we wish you the very best.
Supervisor Bill Zupan will soon be beginning his retirement. Madison County would like to extend its best wishes to him and thank him for his service as supervisor of Cazenovia since 2014. Over the years, Supervisor Zupan has served as the chairman of the Highway Buildings and Grounds Committee, as well as serving on the Criminal Justice, Public Safety, and Emergency Communications Committee. And he served as vice chair of both the Administration and Oversight Committee and the Planning, Economic Development, Environmental, and Intergovernment Affairs Committee. Among the projects he worked on during his time here at the county was the transfer of the county sewer district and sewage treatment facility in Cazenovia to the town in 2017. The project required collaboration between the village of Cazenovia, the town of Cazenovia, the town of Nelson, Madison County, and New York State. Additionally, during Supervisor Zupan's time on the Buildings and Grounds Committee, he served a key role in the courthouse renovation project and the building of the new highway garage in Eaton. In the town of Cazenovia, Supervisor Zupan oversaw a multi-stage project where the town demolished the old highway garage that housed the New York State Police and in its place built a new modular structure that allowed additional public parking. That same year, the town took on a $250,000 capital campaign that aided in the building of a new salt storage shed and cold storage shed, which led to better options for snow melt, less salt runoff, and long-term cost savings for the town. In 2016, the town of Cazenovia purchased the aquatic weed harvester to help keep Cazenovia Lake clean. Additionally, the town started a project creating a walking trail from the carriage lane in the village to the Sean M. Guggen Sports Complex to allow community members to walk to the field safely. In 2017, the town opened a new lake access point at McNick State Park, which included a permanent dock, canoe, and kayak slide, and 4-foot boardwalk from the parking lot to the dock. The project also made the area handicap accessible. Under his leadership, the town of Cazenovia continued its energy-saving efforts, installing energy-efficient streetlights in 2017. And in 2019, the town of Cazenovia and the town of Nelson partnered to improve the Route 20 water district. This project extended public water from the village of Cazenovia to commercial and business properties along Route 20. These are just a few of the many great accomplishments Supervisor Zupan led for the town of Cazenovia during his tenure. We would like to thank Supervisor Bill Zupan for his service and commitment to the residents of Cazenovia and Madison County. We are all better for it, and we wish you the best in your retirement.
Is there anyone that'd like to make any comments?
Could I talk about Joe a little bit?
Sure.
No, I gotta talk first.
You gotta go first?
I gotta-
Wait a minute. Okay, you can be bad cop, I'll be good cop.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll end it on a good note, okay? Now, everybody knows Joe and I have not seen eye to eye on some things, but we've always been cordial outside of here. Joe's been a great advocate for the city of Oneida and especially for the rail trails and that kind of thing. And Joe's had a storied history of public service and his community is better for it. And thank you, Joe, very much for what you've done for the community.
I could tell Joe and I would both agree that thank God we didn't have iPhones when we were growing up in Oneida. But I've known Joe for a long time. We have a lot of common friends, and the things that he's done for the city and the county are things that people don't normally think about. You know, we were just talking about Mount Hope Reservoir in Oneida. Any of you have never been to that place. I grew up across the street, so I spent a lot of time there. It probably would have been torn down and disappeared if this guy wasn't there, and taken a lot of arrows from some people, of course, through the years, but he did it for the right reason. And there's a lot of recreation activities in Madison County and Central New York that could be attributed to this guy. We're talking about the rail trail. You know, people were complaining, and, you know, there's always naysayers, not in my backyard type people, but anyone who's spent some time going down and back and forth on the rail trail knows that thousands upon thousands of people use that every day. And it's good for their exercise, getting outside. And thanks to Joe. Really appreciate it, Joe. Thank you.
Joe, you want to say anything?
Well, thank you all for the kind words. Everyone always thinks that there is an ulterior motive for anything that you do in the public eye. Most everybody thinks there's some monetary reward for it. I always tell the stories of enjoying doing the trail work and then seeing users on it, because that's where the true reward comes from. And I'll tell quickly the story from Mount Hope that sends it all for me. It was a fight against the municipality. It opened the summer of 2001 with a fishing derby for the United Recreation Department. And many people don't realize Mount Hope was decommissioned as a municipal water supply in 1927. and the United Fishing Game Club stocked it for 40 years. My parents were members of that fishing game club, so I grew up fishing, swimming in the waters, and hiking the trails around it. And being the curmudgeon that I am, the grand opening was wonderful. The kids first cast in the water at 8:15 in the morning. They literally caught 30 fish in their 15-minute time frame that they had. And they got awards for the most fish caught, the least fish caught, the oddest catch. And it was a local doctor with 2 adopted kids. His son caught the most fish. His daughter had the oddest catch. So that was on a Saturday. The next Sunday morning, I go to church. I'm going to go up to Mount Hope afterwards. And again, the curmudgeon in me, I'm thinking I'm going to see picnic tables overturned, garbage everywhere. But it was a pristine morning. There was a few vehicles in the parking lot. And as I walked down in, there was just a little bit of fog over top of the reservoir. It was a beautiful morning. Shook my head, a little bit happy with myself on it. Walking back up to the parking lot, here comes that local doctor with his son with a fishing pole in his hand. And the doctor says to me, he couldn't stay away, just couldn't sleep at all last night, excited to come back for it. So that was the first of many rewards that have just stuck with me. That's 23 years ago almost. So there's value in all these community efforts that we do, and that for most all of us around here, the phone doesn't ring with accolades and you did a good job. It's always somebody complaining about everything. But it's the quiet acknowledgement for the appreciation that everyone does doing this, where the true satisfaction comes from. Again, thank you all for those kind words.
Thank you, Joe. Now for the next one. Maureen is here, your wife. There's a correlation to this story because she said that she has the oddest catch.
I would just like to thank everybody. I don't know how many people know it, but I came into this position because nobody else wanted the job in Cazenovia. And I figured it was going to be a 2-year stint and I was out of there. And after 10 years, I decided it was enough. But I want everybody here to know that I've made a lot of good friends and I've totally enjoyed my time here, because everybody around this horseshoe and all the department heads work for the best of Madison County. And politics usually 99% of the time stays out of it. And I really appreciate that. And what I'm going to miss is all the friendships I've developed here in my arguments with Joe Mag. But again, thank you.
Been my pleasure to know Bill. I didn't know Bill before he got on the town board, or on the board of supervisors here. I've known some of his relatives from Canastota, and Bill's got a joke. He calls me his father. Must be his father yelled at him a lot or something. I don't yell that much. So, but one of the first times that Bill came in the office, and he's a jokester. I'll tell you that much. He's got a tape measure and he's measuring the floor of the office in there. And I said, what the hell are you doing? He says, oh, I'm measuring. He says, I want to see if my furniture fits in here, he said. So that was always a fun thing. And last night we went out to dinner. Pete and I and Rex lost a gubernatorial bet to Bill. And it was good to go out and just talk and have a good time and just relax. And Bill, thank you for all your time you've put in. You've been a great public servant. And I know you've done more in your town and Cazenovia, and for them, thank you also. So thanks, Bill. Yep. Yeah. Pete.
Mr. Chairman, I will never forget the passionate and spirited debates between the chairman and Joe Mag. And it was something to see. And I've always admired Joe's ability to advocate for a cause, because at the same time he was able to acquire money for the rail trail. We were trying to get a road paved, a state highway paved in Georgetown. And I complained to him that that I couldn't get a road that people needed to drive to work, and he was getting a walking trail. But we got it eventually, Joe, but kudos to you. And as far as Bill Zupan, we came in together 10 years ago, and I've said this to many people, that Bill Zupan is a man's man.
Oh, God,
And
that's the
he-
end of that. His head just went.
And I've
You won't
never
fit in
given,
that office now, buddy.
Listen, I've never given him a compliment before, so I want to make sure that I get him off my, but
Yeah.
he and I have given a lot of barbs back and forth. And if you sat in a committee meeting, you've understood how much fun we had together and all the digs and the barbs. And it was all because we really cared about each other and really liked each other. And I'm going to miss Bill's friendship up here. I told Bill, he said, we had a good time last night. I said, yeah. We must have, because I said, I had no idea. We were sitting at that table laughing and talking for 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours.
And,
yeah.
and it went by quickly.
Yep.
So I'll miss Bill.
Pete had his hands in his pockets the whole time. We went to the Brewster Inn and boy, I could see he was sweating when that final bill came.
I'd never been there. And I told the waitress was phenomenal. And I told her when she came around to me, listen, this guy is a really good friend of mine, but I don't come out to town very often out of the hills. And I said, I looked this menu over and I do not see Pilgrim hot dogs on this. I did everything I could to embarrass Bill last
Yeah,
night.
we did all we could. I put the reservations down. She had my phone number and she says, John Becker. I says, no, the reservations need to go under Bill, the Big Dog Zupan. And she knew who it was and she laughed and we had a good time. So.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I knew if I'd have known it took me getting off the board for Pete to give me a compliment, I would have resigned 9 years ago.
The happier 9 years of my life.
Kyle's back there, the next supervisor from Casanova. Does he call you and remind you how many minutes or hours he has left? Because he'll know right to the minute here. So how many is it? Days? Okay. Okay.
All right, next we have a video for Chairman Becker himself that our PIO office also put together. Yep. John M. Becker was elected as a supervisor of the town of Sullivan in 2005, taking office on January 1st, 2006. From the start, John was active in Government Operations Committee, the Administration and Oversight Committee, the Criminal Justice, Public Safety, and Telecommunications Committee, as well as serving as the Vice Chair of the Planning, Economic Development, and Environmental and Intergovernmental Affairs Committee. Just 2 years later, he replaced Rocky DeVeronica from the town of Lenox as chairman of the Board of Supervisors. Becker became chairman at the outset of the 2008 Great Recession and steered the county through incredibly rough financial times. In order to redirect the county during this time, Chairman Becker worked to make the government more efficient by pushing Madison County to adopt a county administrator type of government to run day-to-day operations, consolidate departments, and consolidate government committees. Throughout his career, Chairman Becker worked to find ways to not only make county government more efficient, but to equip the employees with the tools they need to provide the best services possible to the residents of Madison County. Among the many accomplishments during his time as chairman, a few to be highlighted are the settlement of the Oneida Indian Nation land claim lawsuit, the renovation and restoration of the 110-year-old courthouse, the installation of new 911 towers, the purchase and redevelopment of Delphi Falls Park, the construction of a state-of-the-art highway garage in Eaton to better serve the southern part of the county, and most recently, the expansion of broadband internet to underserved and unserved rural areas. Becker's 16 years as chairman will finish as the third longest tenured chairman in Madison County history, following only Dr. Alexander Holmes' 18 years from 1878 to 1895, and Burroughs Marshall's 26 years from 1948 to 1973.
Leading up to the agreement in 2013 with the Oneida Indian Nation, Chairman Becker worked to create relationships with state and federal leaders on both sides of the aisle. The land claim agreement was historic and with its signing, the chairman improved relationships with the Oneida Indian Nation and assisted in creating a partnership that has greatly benefited Madison County. Chairman Becker led Madison County through several natural disasters as well as a worldwide pandemic. In 2013, the city of Oneida faced a historic flood that damaged over 200 homes, and in 2014, a tornado struck the town of Smithfield that killed 4 people. In 2020, we faced the unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic with leadership that had to make difficult decisions, but was able to keep Madison County moving forward. Following the pandemic, it was recognized that the mental health of our residents had been greatly impacted in a negative way. Chairman Becker assembled with Mental Health Task Force to assess the mental health needs as well as the current resources of our community. As a result of the information gathered by the task force, we now have the Mental Health Schools Clinic to assist our youth, additional substance abuse programs, and expanded mental health clinic right here. The chairman worked with state and federal partners to help our communities recover through these events, and this helped create the robust emergency management, mental health, and public health departments that we have today. During his tenure, Chairman Becker not only was the leader of Madison County, he served as president of the Board of Chairs for the New York State Association of Counties for the past 8 years. In 2014, he was appointed to the National Association of Counties Board of Directors, as well as vice chairman of the New York State Association of Counties Native American Affairs Committee.
Chairman Becker has truly given his all to Madison County. We will miss your spirit and miss you keeping us on our toes. We want to thank you for your service and dedication to making Madison County, as you say, the best county in New York State. You are a leader, a mentor, a friend, and a family to many. You will be missed around the horseshoe and in the office, and we wish you the very best in your next adventure.
About 15 years ago, I went to Madison County to meet John Becker. He was the new supervisor of the town. And not only was I a United States Senator, but my previous position was as a town supervisor. So I had great empathy for him. And let me tell you, he did a fantastic job. The tremendous land settlement claim, John Becker was there. And he got millions of dollars from Madison County. A terrific leader. I want to wish John the best in his retirement. And now he has time to improve that golf swing. John, it was an honor to work with you. And the people of Madison County should know what you did with that historic work and that settlement.
Hi, John. So sad to hear that you're leaving the county. You never know what's going to happen with that darn politics. You are actually the only chairman I've ever worked with that has really pushed Madison County into the future. You've accomplished many, many great things, and I've never seen anything like it. It's great for Madison County that you were there for so long, but it's going to be sad to see you go. It was great working with you and all the office people. I miss you all very much, and good luck to you in the future. I hope everything works out well. I'm sure it will. You're a go-getter. Talk to you later. Bye.
Hi, John. You and I both started in office about the same time together. And we've had some tough hills to climb, but we did it together with the best interests of our respective counties at heart. From the Oneida Indian Nation historic settlement to working together through the pandemic and working on a variety of economic development initiatives. I'm going to miss working with you, but I know that in your next venture, whatever it may be, it will be with the best interests of yourself, your family, and your community at heart. So here's wishing you the very best and wishing you a wonderful holiday season with you and your family. God bless.
Hello, John. It's your buddy Chuck Schumer. Looking back, I have so many fond memories of us working together over your 18-year tenure as Sullivan Town Supervisor and your 16-year tenure as Madison County Chair. Over your distinguished career, you brought energy, optimism, and acumen to your work, that made the town of Sullivan and then all of Madison County a stronger, more prosperous, safer, and more vibrant place. I always found it remarkable how you worked with anyone who had the best interests of Madison County at heart, regardless of politics or party. You're a Republican, I'm a Democrat. We never let partisanship get in the way of helping the county, and that's a tribute to you. Your commitment and devotion to doing the right thing for your county, town, and constituents inspires everybody. Together, we accomplished so much. We delivered $10 million in USDA Broadband Reconnect funding to bring high-speed broadband to thousands of homes, businesses, and farms across Madison County. We took the lead on the mental health crisis exacerbated by the pandemic, fighting for the Madison County Mental Health Task Force to receive a piece of the $5 billion in ARPA funding that I secured. We worked together to get CSX to pay attention as costly delays held up critical repairs to the North Court Street Bridge in the village of Canastota. We invested billions in ARPA funding, including over $13 million for Madison County and $1 million for Sullivan, for advanced life support, fly cars to handle 911 calls, a gift card matching program to support local restaurants, in-school mental health programming, and more. And we delivered money for better roads and bridges and water and sewer systems and so much more. When so many, including our former governor, didn't want the counties to get money, you and I worked together to make sure that in the ARPA funding, counties directly got money. Both Madison County and Sullivan County benefited. So it's been an honor and pleasure serving the people of Madison County and Sullivan with you. Always look forward to our regular meetings. I've personally learned a great deal from working alongside you, and I'm grateful for that. You personify the best of New York and the best of America, and I wish your family all my best as you embark on life's next chapter.
Seguli, one of the most notable signs of John Becker's impact upon Madison County is the fact that the leader of the Oneida Indian Nation is on this video. For generations before John's arrival, the relationship between the county and the Oneida people was fraught with conflict. But today, due to John's courage, we stand and work together for the betterment of our communities. Since we turned the page on past conflicts and entered into our historic agreement in 2013, the residents of Madison County have received more than $42 million from the Oneida Indian Nation payments to the state of New York. But even more important than that, we recognized how much more we can accomplish by respecting each other and by working together to find a new and better ways to grow our region and support our people through cultural and economic partnerships. It took the type of leadership and willingness to try a better way that John provided to create a new normal for our community. John, congratulations on a great run, and please accept our warmest wishes for a healthy and happy retirement.
Chairman John Becker, on behalf of the National Association of Counties and America's County Officials, thank you for your extraordinary leadership and passion for public service. We extend our sincerest gratitude for your dedicated service at the national, state, and local levels. Over your 16 years, you've served in countless leadership roles at NACO, helping us address important county-level issues from mental health to broadband to emergency services. You've led on county tribal relations, ag and rural development, and building community assets like parks and recreation. Most importantly, you've made sure that Madison County leaders and staff are at the table, from the corridors of our nation's capital to the halls of Albany. You ensured the voices of Madison County residents were heard and present. Now, to help you remember your time with NACO and your fellow county officials, we are pleased to be joined by my dear friend, Stephen Aquario of the New York State Association of Counties, and presenting you with this special clock, proudly made in America. Thank you again for your commitment to public service and to the residents of Madison County. And as President Lincoln noted, I walk slowly, but I never walk backwards. We wish you great health and well-being in your future journeys.
Thank you.
Hey, buddy. Good to see you, Chairman John Becker. So good to be with you, John, and be part of this celebration. You have the best rug in the state of New York, and I've been around a number of counties around this state. You know, it's a real pleasure and a privilege to present to you, John. First of all, from Matthew Chase, a note from him, the executive director of the National Association of Counties. Pretty well packaged there, but it's a clock. It's pretty heavy, but Antoinette will be furious.
Oh, the COVID crystal thing that gave Tony and I and Brian, yeah, that thing's like a wedge.
Quick picture. Quick picture. Okay, so John Becker serves for many years on the National Association of Counties Board of Directors in Washington, D.C. He's done a number of things for us, but first and foremost, it's always been about his town of Sullivan. You're in a unique situation here in Madison County. You're a Board of Supervisors. You may take it for granted, you might not take it for granted, but it's a unique form of government, and it is our traditional form of government. All of the counties were a Board of Supervisors at one point in time. All of them. So it's the traditional form of government. And so John's first order of business has always been his town and serving the people of the town. Next is the county. As the supervisor, you have the unique pleasure of serving both your town and your county. So it's town, county, the state of New York, the State Association of Counties, where I have the privilege and pleasure of working as your state director. He serves on so many committees at the State Association of Counties, helping us with the Native American Affairs Committee. You heard Ray Halberter talking about that historic role that John Becker played in bringing peace to the nation and peace to Madison County and Oneida County, and of course our nation. So town, county, state, and nation, that's a lot of responsibility to carry, and you carried this with distinction and honor. You bringing peace to the Native American issue. I was there. I was in the room with John and some supervisors. Extraordinary, heroic effort to bring a resolution. $42 million later, and another $42 million to come. I mean, what happened that day? And plus, there was a unique man in the Capitol at that point in time, Andrew Cuomo, who would not let him out of the room. Says, you can't leave. You have to stay in this room and get this done. And you did, John. And you did it on behalf of your county and your residents in this region. And look what you've done. John is not only the chair of your county, but he is also the chair of all the chairs. So he was not just the head honcho here, but the head honcho of all honchos, all across, Mr. Honcho, all across the state of New York, presiding over all of the county board chairs. So he brought his experience, what he learned and did here, but he shared it with all of his peers around the state, at least twice per year, and then ongoing consultation with me nonstop. He spoke truth to power. He speaks truth to power. He's always been yelling at me constantly. And then he says to me, I'm not yelling at you, though. It's like, how is that possible, John? You just yelled at me nonstop. But he used to tear into our former governor, and he used to let him have it like nobody else. And of course, we had similar experiences with our former governor, Andrew Cuomo, who I love dearly. But he was a very interesting man. I remember he flew his helicopter right in here and right outside the county office building just because he could. And he did do that. But the COVID-19 pandemic, as so many others have talked about, the leadership that it took to keep his hands on the wheel. Very unsteady time, John. We went through those pandemic years. We didn't know what was going to happen. supporting your family, Antoinette, your children, being my friend. It's just been a hell of a ride. We share an interest in automobiles and old classic cars and muscle cars, all things cool. And just lastly, just an observation here. You know, running a $200 million corporation, that's not easy. That's what you do. You run a $200 million corporation. That is your CEO running the corporation. Standing committees, administrative committees, all it takes to run a government for the people of Madison County. It's extraordinary. Your department heads, the public that's with us here today. This is a very powerful responsibility you have as an elected supervisor and that John had as your chairman. If I look at this journal, which the county administrator shares with me, you're awesome and terrific county administrator. Right over here, looking at your journal of proceedings in 2022. What you do, authorizing the chairman to accept grant funds from PERMA, your workers' compensation carrier. Resolutions entertaining a new standard for waste disposal agreements for the term 21-20 through 2023. Authorizing the chairman to enter into an agreement with Gas and Food Mart for selling solid waste punch cards, and on and on and on, appropriating a budget of $200 million, taxing the people of Madison County and expending those tax proceeds. This is what you do. It's a powerful responsibility. It's a hell of a lot of work, but it's all presided over by this person here on your behalf and on the people's behalf. I take this seriously. When Mark sends me these documents and all the work that you do, the intricate details of policymaking that's made by this board and presided over by the chair, putting his name on a document and his reputation on the line and signing these agreements. It's a lot of work. And John, it's been a hell of a ride between you, me, this board of supervisors, your town. It's a celebration. This is a great day. This is truly a great day. Think about all the great times that you and I have had fighting the state and battling unfunded mandates. I just have, it's just to wrap up, I want to just circulate this and see if folks can sign the back of this. It's a sign. You want to hold it up here, Mark, for a quick picture here. Madison County, and I'll circulate a Sharpie. I want to have all the soups. I call you soups. Send a little note to John, sign it, and I'd like to sign it. I want to acknowledge Mark Levine, our Deputy Director at the State Association, and the outstanding counsel in the back there, Patrick Cummings, who works very hard on your behalf. So, John, we're all going to sign that for you. And then I brought a small gift from the association with a card as well. Not quite as nice as the national, but we don't have that kind of budget. But it's something for you to have later on. It's a pen that was used by George Washington. Just kidding. It's just a pen with a flag on it. So, in recognition to you, John, it's so good to see you and be here with you. Congratulations, my friend. Thanks, Steve. And this gentleman would not be here if it wasn't for Rocky DeVeronica and the town of Lenox before. He helped Steve ascend to the directorship, and he's been there ever since. What year was that? 2005. And so, you know, we've been together. He was with Rocky. Everybody knew Rocky at NISAC. He was always a legend with his one-handed push-ups and everything. And he got us involved with NISAC heavily and NACO because of the Oneidas. And it's been a benefit to our county ever since. And NISAC is a great resource. Not every county in the state uses them. They should. They don't know what they're missing. I had talked to a group of young people the other day and told them there's nothing like face-to-face communication. We don't have that anymore. Everything is bullshit on Facebook, and you know,
emails and all that stuff. There's nothing like golfing or eating dinner like last night with Zoop and Pete, Rex. You know, I thought one time Rex was gonna stab Zoop in the head with a fork until Zoop came around, but that's the face-to-face that you need. You need to see somebody. You need to look in their eyes. You need to know what they feel in their gut. And you don't get that on a stupid computer. It's ridiculous. And you know, to go to the Association of Counties and visit with people from, you know, Westchester County, Erie County, Niagara County, Clinton County. And we'll talk about it again in a little while, that Madison County is always on the cutting edge. We're out in front for a small county. And that's because of what Rocky did, because of the relationships with what we have with the leadership at NISAC and NACO both. And, you know, Steve, we'll still communicate and do our car thing and all that stuff, but I'll never forget all of our times at NISAC, and I appreciate everything you guys have ever done for us, and thank you very much. Yes, yes.
Thank you, John. We will certainly stay in touch, and thank you, supervisors and county administrator and county attorney Tina.
I got one late arrival here that I'm going to play for you all. You can hear it, hopefully.
Chairman Becker, my friend John Becker, I want to congratulate you and thank you for your partnership over the last 4 years together when we've worked together in our roles. Madison County and Onondaga County, our futures are absolutely linked. And we've done a lot together and you have helped position your community to achieve great things. I want to specifically acknowledge friendship and leadership during the pandemic. Many of us know every day what we went through on those control rooms. And the public doesn't know how hard we fought with New York State to get things going, to get our economy back, to make sure we have the resources we need. And you're a key partner in that. Congratulations, an amazing public service career. I'm honored to work with you and I'm honored to call you my friend.
Trying to get easy with it, easy with it.
I'm
Show there
just
for
being
her.
supportive. Right.
Not yet. Yeah. Do we want to do, we're doing that and then? Yes, go ahead. Yes, Dan, just hands up. Yeah. We'll phone off.
I'm sure it comes. I hope so. So I have a bad habit of talking too long in this room, but today won't be that because I'm not sure I can actually get through it. So I'll try. When I was first elected in 2007, I knew many things would change for me. I knew I'd learn a lot. I knew I'd experience a lot of things. What I didn't know was the magnitude of the friendship that I would develop between me and John. Through the years, we shared in Eagle Scout ceremonies, graduation parties, weddings, and unfortunately some funerals. You know, when I graduated high school, I received the book from Dr. Seuss, "Oh, the Places You Will Go." John, we've been to so many places. We've experienced so many things that I never thought I'd ever have the opportunity to experience. We walked the halls of Congress. We had midnight meetings in the governor's office. We've been to piano bars in New Orleans, rodeos in Fort Worth, Christmas parties in New York City. We've had some good times at the dugout. We've even found our way to Georgetown Cupcake once or twice. Yes. We've been on the Senate train, the House of the Floor. And although I was really out of my comfort zone and really nervous, we wandered one day around the grounds of the White House. Not too bad for a couple farm kids from upstate New York. Many people in Madison County will never fully appreciate the profound impact your leadership has had. But I do because I witnessed most of it. I witnessed your stare down with a governor to ensure that the rights of this county was not trampled on by the state. I witnessed you testify to Congress on the amount of red tape for rural infrastructure to clean that up. I witnessed you give Senator Vleski a pep talk one day. We'll call it a pep talk. I witnessed you fight for our county in an after-hours meeting with State Budget Officer Mojica. I was a little nervous on that one too, probably. I witnessed you develop relationships at all levels of government that have paid significant dividends to our county. John, I witnessed you comfort residents after natural disasters, and I witnessed you lead our county through the pandemic. Most of all, I witnessed you give your time and talents selflessly as you built a county that others would be proud of. Every chapter of every book written ever comes to an end at some point, as is true for this chapter of Madison County's history. It is one hell of a story. One that I and Mark often refer to as a roller coaster. We had ups and downs and twists and turns. Sometimes the ride made us sick, but most of the time the ride gave us joy and laughter. It saddens me to see it to come to an end, but I can honestly say that I enjoyed every minute of this ride. Now I believe that the goal of every public servant should be to leave the place better than what you found it. Madison County of today is light years ahead of the Madison County I found in 2007. This county is strong, it's resilient, it's well respected. John, this is your legacy. It's one to be admired. You're a great leader and an even better friend. I cannot think of anyone more deserving than all of the accolades that are coming your way today. And I cannot wait to see what the next chapter brings you, my friend.
Well, just give the little White House story quickly, because I know there's others. So we're at a USDA thing and we're in the vice president's offices. And well, it's the old executive mansion is what it is. So we were there and we had credentials and it says you have to stick to where you're supposed to be and everything. And I told Dad, piss on that. We're going to go wander around. We can't wander around here. He says, we can't wander around. Look at all the signs. No, we'll get in trouble. I says, don't just act like you're supposed to be here. Nobody cares. Flip your badge around. So we're wandering around. I wanted to go upstairs, downstairs. Dad says, please, no. He says, we're going to wind up face down here in a minute. I says, no, we're not. Just act like you know what we're doing. So we go out a door. Hey, here we are amongst the presidential motorcade. Secret Service guys there talking to Dad. Hey, how are you guys today? Well, we're good. How are you? Well, we're good. There's the White House and everything. Dan's going, this is bad. This is real bad. I says, they're friendly. They like us. We got our badges on. We're all right. And we wandered around a little bit more and checked things out and we left and everything was good. But Dan thought for sure we were going to jail that day. I got pictures of it. It was good. Yep. We walked right out and Secret Service was talking to us and everything. It was pretty good. So, yep. Who's up next?
Joe Griffo, would you like to come up and speak? Senator. Sorry, we're all off kilter today.
Well, good afternoon. Everybody still with us, right? I think this could, if they're filming this could become a mini series for TV. You know, it's big when Steve Aquario shows up. Steve, you still here? So it's a pleasure to be with all of you today. First, and also with me is Sue from Assemblyman Brian Miller's office. Come on over, Sue. And let me first congratulate and extend our best wishes and appreciation to Commissioner Fitzgerald and Denise, also to Supervisor Maglioka and to Supervisor Zupan for your service. Public life can be very challenging, can be very complicated, and it can be very consuming. But as you heard, it can also be very rewarding. So I sincerely appreciate each and every one of your service to this community and to our state. So we're pleased to be with you today. And Chairman, this is about you today. And I heard when you were talking about fishing and the different types of catches, the luckiest catch John got, and that was Antoinette. So we all know that you got the luckiest catch. And I met John first when I was a former county executive from a neighboring county here. And I was excited when he became the chairman because I was with Rocky before that. And then I knew I didn't have to do any push-ups. So it would be like when I was with Rocky, it would always be a challenge. And I willingly accepted it. But when John came, I go, this will be a little easier on me. And it's really been an opportunity for me to work in a different capacity, having the honor to serve as your state senator over the last year and to get to work more directly on day-to-day issues that are confronting your county and our region and our state. So I just want to say that I think John has done an extraordinary job. And as you heard from Steve, as a former mayor and county executive, when you are in the executive branch, you are running the government, you're running a public corporation. So each and every day, not everyone is going to agree with the decisions that you make. So you're going to make some that some agree with and some that some disagree with. But in the end, you have to make those decisions. And in the end, I think the most important thing is something that I remember the poet Emerson once writing, that the greatest gift is a portion of oneself. And that's what John did each and every day. He gave of himself. And despite all of the accolades that you're going to hear and the awards that you will receive, and they are truly worthy because he was involved in significant policy decisions that changed not only the complexion of this community and the direction of this community, but this entire region. You heard that from many of the individuals that were on the TV and the screen. And I think that is important because that's the legacy. The important decisions and changes that this community went through his leadership, working with the Board of Supervisors for the benefit of this community. But I think in the end, despite the accolades and the awards, the most important thing, trying to recall what I said about Emerson's words, is, did you make a difference? In the end, can you stand there and say, because of your leadership and your service to this community, have you affected and impacted the people? And I think all of you do that, but you truly have demonstrated that also. You can sit back, John, and recall and remember a lot of great things that have happened here. But I think the most important thing is to know that because of you, this community is better. Because of you, people's lives are better. And that ultimately is the greatest tribute that we can pay to anybody. So on behalf of the New York State Senate, we don't agree on a lot in Albany, as you know, but this one we all agreed on. And we want to present this, I will not read it, which is a resolution honoring John for his service, commending him for his leadership. And as long as John has this and you're with him, you can do whatever you want in New York State today.
Joe, before we go to Susan, Joe is up for the Nobel Peace Prize this year because even though Tony was on giving a talk and some accolades, our relationship with Oneida County has improved vastly over the past year since Joe has become our senator. And where were we the other day that said, when did that? Oh, Mike Sales from Sylvan Beach. Tony came over and talked to me and we hugged and he wished me well. And Mike Sales almost fell over dead. He says, how did that happen? I says, oh, Joe Griffo. So Joe's up for the Nobel Peace Prize this year. Joe, thank you for all of your service and you'll continue to serve Madison County. And I feel it's the greatest place to live. It's got the best employees. And thank you.
Yeah, thank you, John. I look forward to working with all of you and your presumptive nominee for Chairman Matt Roberts. Congratulations.
So John, I just have to say the Assemblyman is sorry that he couldn't be here today. The good news is I won't talk nearly as long and I've learned how to work really, really smart, which means that you come up here with a senator who says it all and says it so well, especially in this case. So I would just like to echo his sentiments. The Assemblyman just acquired part of Madison County this year. So our working relationship has been over the course of a very short year, but it has been a very successful one. And we look forward to what comes next in Madison County. The foresight that you had in terms of leading the county forward over your 16 years here and then previously in your years of public service is something that speaks volumes to your character and to where your heart really is. So we'd just like to thank you for that. And on behalf of the Assembly of the State of New York and the constituents of the 122nd Assembly District, we'd also like to present you with this. I am also not going to read it because there's an awful lot of whereases in there. And it'll give John something to read tonight. So just want to thank you, John, and echo the sentiments of the senator in terms of continuing to work with the board and presumptive Chair Roberts.
Thank you, Susan. Susan is always been there for us when the assemblyman couldn't be around, and we appreciate all your service and your dedication to the Assembly District and to Madison County, and I'm sure they look forward to continuing that into the future. Thank you again, Susan. Yep.
I'm Terry Tomasi, the commander of the American Legion Post 1287 in Chittenango. And I'm acquainted with John, but I haven't worked with him. However, Joe Geiser, our former commander, has worked with John for many years. And I would like Joe to present our gift to John.
Thank you. I want to thank everybody for coming here today because John deserves a very, very well. John is, we have 5 other Legion members with me. John, you are also a son of the 1287, and your son Jonathan is the commander of the Sun. So I'm going to tell you right now, the pavilion is going to be built in January. The Legion is looking at a all hometown heroes pavilion that we want to give back to the town of Sullivan for all that they've done for the Legion and that. So John, I've got a plaque here. I'm only going to read, in recognition and sincere appreciation of outstanding service and leadership, which contributed to the advancement of the American Legion programs and activities dedicated to God and country. We want to thank you for all you've done for us. Back in 2008, the Sullivan took over our Legion because we were no longer bankrupt, no longer bingo, and we were no longer able to afford it. John took over, and the first year I told him, I says, you saved us $17,000. $12,000 was for utilities. $5,500 was for insurance. Since they took the building over, we only have to pay $500 for rental. So we saved $17,000. That was in 2008. John, thank you for all you've done for us. I hope you and your family have a good retirement. Yep. And your father would be very proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The Legion's very active in the town of Sullivan, and I would do it again. It was Jim Gooley that came to me, and they didn't have a lot of Legion members at the time, and they were hurting, and he asked if we would take over the building, and I said, yeah, and he was going to sign the building over, and I said, no, we're going to buy it. And I pulled $1 out of my pocket, and we bought the building for $1. And it's now our Parks and Rec building and the Legion. They have a room which they use the way that they see fit, which is fitting because our veterans are why we're here. And that's always been a big part of, my chairmanship is we need to honor the people who have come before us and gave us our liberties and the things that we do and our freedoms that we have. I know that we don't see that today in a lot of things because I don't think that today's generation has been through the fire like previous generations have. And to that, they should be honored and honored always and remembered. Today we see what's going on in the Mideast, and we've heard never forget, but I'm beginning to think that history is being forgotten, and we can't do that. And we got to get back to our schools where our history is taught and where we come from. Where we come from is very important. And, we come from people who have given us our freedoms, and we appreciate that very much. And thank you. So.
I'll wait till you sit down because you'll cry for this one. Just kidding.
When do I get this?
I don't know. I got a long agenda here. I have known John Becker for the past 5 years. While that may not seem as such a long time compared to some of the faces in this room, John has made a significant impact in my life, and for that I'm eternally grateful. One of the first conversations I ever had with John, one that I still reference to this day, was when he asked me in an interview, "How do you do with yelling?" I paused, laughed for a moment, and very carefully responded. I said, "Well, as long as you're not yelling at me, I don't mind at all." John has a presence about him that when he's in the room, you know he's there. For those of us fortunate enough to know him, each of us would tell you how even though he shows a rough exterior, at his core, he is one of the kindest people that we know. One who would give you the shirt off his back in your time of need. John has given us all and then some to the residents of Madison County, and he does it because of the love he has for his community. To make it, as he says, the best county in New York State. He has a tremendous amount of pride for the work that's been accomplished during his tenure, and he's humble enough to admit that it's a direct result of those around him. Chairman, you are a leader, a mentor, and a friend, and there are never going to be enough words to express the gratitude I have for our friendship, and I speak for us all when I say that your presence will be missed, along with the contagious laugh and occasional few choice words we hear coming from down the hall. We all truly wish you the best in your next adventure, and we are so sad to see you go. Now, we do have a plaque.
I'll do mine and then we'll do that.
All right, sounds good to me.
So I came back to Madison County, as everybody knows, in 2009 after a 5-year break because I was a traitor, according to Mike Fitzgerald. And I went to work for County Minister Paul Miller, who's in the back there, great guy. And he took a chance on hiring me back, and thank you, Paul, for that. The first day I went to lunch with Paul and John Becker, and I heard a lot about John Becker. I said, "Who's this guy that beat Rocky? This mysterious John Becker?" Because when I was here, Rocky was the guy. He was the one that was running everything. Rocky was here every day. And I got to meet John, and we hit it off immediately. We worked closely together for my year with Paul. I was famously involved with making his Ross Perot charts during annual session for the budget. I got these big charts, and John would get up there with his pointer and point to the charts about the tax, levy increases or decreases or supervisors' salaries or whatever it was. But I did the charts. And at the end of 2010, Paul came into my office and said, "I'm retiring." And him and the chairman pulled me in and said, "You need to be our next administrator." And I politely declined. No, thank you. So the county went out, they did a search, board kept coming back to me. And chairman says, "I have a deal. Here's a deal for you. I'll run day to day, and you could be my administrative assistant to the chair, and you can help." And I said, "That's like county minister light?" "Yeah, kind of like county minister light." I said, I agreed, and I became the highest paid secretary in New York State. John ran the first department head meeting with me. We left. He looked at me, he's like, "You got this." That was the last time I saw him at a department head meeting. And then I was off and running at that point. It was me. I was there. 3 years later, I was officially appointed as county administrator by the board. With John's support, they gave me executive assistant. Thank you, Christine. During my time as administrator, I've had unwavering support from John, the board. Board members came and went, but John was always there to support me, our department heads, our employees. Our biggest accomplishment definitely was the deal in 2013. And during that time, Paul Miller told me one thing on the last day when he gave me the 2 envelopes. He said, "Your biggest challenge is going to be keeping John Becker from going over the ledge." And I almost lost him during the settlement agreement. It was close. He almost went out my window, not by me, but by somebody on the phone. So I almost lost him then. But those were difficult 30 days in May. Everybody, Dan and John Campani, who's here as well, we all lived it, and it was tough, but we got through it, and it's one of the best things we did. And then after that difficult vote, and it was a difficult vote, the board was very split. It came down to Lou Carinci, I think, was the one that actually broke the tie at that point. And we went to the office, and just John and I, and he was pretty distraught over everything. And I said, "It's over. And now we can focus 100% of our efforts on Madison County. because we fought. Back when I was here in the early 2000s, when I came back, we spent all of our time fighting. We didn't focus on the guys. I was here during, I would call it more the dark ages, when the board was very focused on the nation. And I don't feel like as an employee at the county at the time that the board was focused on the employees and the services we're delivering, because everybody's in and out of the basement with lawyers and lobbyists. So I really said we can do that. And in that, from that time period forward, from 13 forward, we ran and we built and we did a lot of good things. And the thing I'm most important to me is our employees, the relationships we have with the unions, and what we've invested, the board's invested in the people here, because those people provide the services to the county and they do a great job. And that's John from the leader on down. And I'm just very thankful that I'm very proud of it. We used to have grievances on a weekly basis. And since we were able to focus on the employees, all that went away. We do have the highest quality services. Madison County is one of the best counties in the state of New York. And that's because of John and you all, board members. So John, thank you for everything. Thank you for your friendship. It's been an amazing roller coaster, as Dan said and John said, and I'll always look back on it with a smile, and thank God we never fell off.
Hold on tight.
We didn't fall out. So thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Can I do mine now?
I'll get one last advice. Christine Coe is bringing this up. This was handmade by Rob Coe, Christine's husband. It's a plaque with the courthouse knob and door plate on it, and Emily's going to read the plaque.
All right. I'll read it and then I'll show it to everybody. If I don't fall over here. In recognition of John M. Becker for his leadership, guidance, and accomplishments as Madison County Chairman of the Board from January 1st, 2008 to December 31st, 2023. A true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. One does not set out to be a leader, but becomes one by the quality of their actions and the integrity of their intent. In the end, leaders are much more like eagles. They don't flock. You find them one at a time. You have tirelessly given your time and resources to the residents of Madison County. By all measures, our community has improved immensely under your watch. Your 16 years as our chairman will be commemorated in history, and your strong and passionate voice will be dearly missed. Dedicated with sincere gratitude by the Madison County Board of Supervisors, December 14th, 2023.
Thank you.
Now it's your turn.
Now it's your turn. I don't know. We're at capacity in the room, so.
It says soar with eagles, so tread lightly, Zupan. Easy. How fast 16 years has gone by? 18 years, actually. My family's history runs deep in this county. My great-great-grandfather shoed horses on the Erie Canal. He also was the head of the Democratic Party, Evan, in the town of Sullivan, Madison County. When the county wanted to put Lakeport Road all the way down to the lake, the Republicans asked him to go to Erieville, Eaton, the town of Eaton, Joe, to strike a deal so the county could put Lakeport Road from North Chittenango all the way down to Oneida Lake. My great-grandfather was the Civil Service Commissioner here for many years. Now their great-great-grandson, closing my career as the third longest running chair in county history as a Republican. Had to get that in there. Sorry. My cousin Celia is here today, who shares the same heritage. Thank you, Celia, for all you've done. I want to thank my wife, Antoinette, for our 37 years together. Our two beautiful kids, Jonathan and Lindsay. You guys have stood by me through thick and thin, through all the shit that people write about you that's not true. I love you all very, very much. I'm just going to give a little quick story about ties. My wife and ties. Are you wearing your red tie today? Are you wearing your yellow tie today? I like my yellow ties. I like my red ties. So one Christmas, she got me a Jerry Garcia tie. I don't like them. They're a little too funky for me. Zoop would love them. He likes some kind of things. Just, I'm a plain guy. Not red, not yellow, just plain. Eagle on them, a little patriotic. So she got me the tie. I wore it once, didn't like it. And then her friend Yvonne got me one for Christmas or something. I don't remember. And I wore it. And Antoinette, she was watching the meeting, and where the hell did that tie come? And I can guarantee it wasn't from Evan. I'll tell you that much, right? So, Evan, you've got a spot in my heart. That's why I talked to you. So, we've done a lot of things. Rex Vosberg, I haven't known you long, but you put things in such perspective. The Facebook shit and everything else. It's the mob. We're living the movie Gladiator. It's the mob that wants to be happy. And Gladiator stands out there and says, are you not entertained? This is not entertainment. You are in charge of a living, breathing government. People that adopt kids, kids that are abused, pregnant moms, people that are sick, the aging, the jail, our sheriffs that see it every day on the road, in the jail, our DSS workers. I mentioned it with Pete that, he was going to come and clean house at DSS, and he's seen the human side of what we live every single day, those employees over there. The broken families, the people who get on drugs that don't start out that way, the people who have financial problems that don't start out that way, broken people. We fix them. We take care of them. Todd Rouse is over there crawling in his chair right now saying, is this guy really a Republican? Yes, I am, Todd. And you have to be caring. And we are a caring county. Majority is Republicans, but we care. When we did the public health study, when we came through COVID, everything is flipped upside down and people seem like they've gone crazy. We have a public health crisis in our country that's mental health, and it's serious. So we decided to do that public health study, and the gentleman that did the study could not believe that a Republican county was doing that. But that's because we care about our people. We care about the people who make us, who allow us to come here and give them services. That health study worked out. Tisha Cook is the director over our public health or our mental health department, and we have mental health counselors in the schools as long as our SROs, and that's the place they need to be. We need to help our young people so they grow up to be productive people. Each and every one of you has touched me in some way. I appreciate all the things that you've said. I'm not deserving because we are a team. We're a group. Nobody can do anything by themselves. There's been a lot of great people that have come and gone through this chamber, but I want to particularly thank Dan DeGear, my friend, and Mark Simone, my colleague and my friend, for helping. Two fat guys and a bald guy ran the county for a long time. And I think we did damn good. We lived up to taking care of our people and our employees. When you look at our employees are are us. This board. They're the face of Madison County every day. People want to come to our DMV. They don't complain about the DMV. Usually people don't like to come to DMV. They like it because our people are friendly, because they're service orientated and they want to come. They come into a building that is welcoming. It's not old. It's not deteriorated. And that's because this board and other boards have made the investment into making our county that way. And I'm particularly proud of it. And it puts us on a different plane amongst the state and the federal level. On there, on that TV you've seen today, the head of the United States Senate was on there. I'm particularly proud of that. Whether you like him, don't like him, Democrat, Republican, the head of the United States Senate. That man wields power, a lot of power. I'm on a first name basis with that guy. And we could talk about things. Mark watched me grab him by the arm one day and wheel him around and say, you need to listen to me. And he did. It was when Governor Cuomo was trying to cut the counties out of the Medicaid money. And we got the Medicaid money because we had that kind of relationship. And I'm particularly proud of that. I'm not ashamed. I know Chuck Schumer, you know, everybody says I'm a lot of things. Everybody says he's a lot of things, but he's there for his people. He's there to help amongst everybody else that was on there. But just his stature in the United States of America and to be on here means something. Not just to me, it should mean it to all of you also. That it's a great county and he recognizes that. And whoever runs this county next, I think it's going to be Matt, needs to understand that it's all about relationships and people and here. And we've done a lot of good things. I can't name them all. There's been a lot of good people that have come before me. But as Steve Aquario said, I'm going to leave knowing that I left the place better than I found it. And I'm particularly proud of that. And I want to come around and I want to shake everybody's hand and talk to you before we close. Okay, I'm going to have some fun. Lauren? Thank you for all your years of service. You've got a tough sled to hoe. Brookfield's a tough place. They've got 90 miles of road with nowhere's near the tax base as everybody else. But Lauren and John Salka, who was here for quite a while, they've always made it work. And that's a tribute to your leadership and how you run a town. And thank you for all of your dedication here at Madison County. We appreciate it very, very much.
Good luck to you, John, your family, and thank you for everything you've done 24/7, year round, and good luck to you.
Thanks, Lauren. I'm going to walk around the back because I don't dare get in front. This is Bill the Big Dog Zupan. Bill, thanks for everything. Said a lot, and you know, call us from Key West. Mark won't be getting you out of the bar anymore. We had to make quorum one time and he called Bill. Bill's down at Key West at 10 o'clock in the morning in the bar. He says, I got to get out of the bar to be here. So Bill's out drinking in the street, making quorum for their committee. So thanks, Bill, for everything.
Dad, I hope you have a wonderful retirement and thank you for bringing that story up since my wife is here.
Rex, it's been a pleasure knowing you. You're an honorable man. You're a good man. And I'm glad Dan found you to be the supervisor, town and director. They couldn't find a better representative.
When I first met John, Dan come down, of course, and Ryder big days when they're having the tractor and truck pull. And I'm honored enough to be the announcer. So I come out of the booth. John's next to Dan the gear. And I looked at his shirt. He had an American flag or something. He said, awesome shirt. He goes, you and me are going to get along just fine. And then during when I got sworn in, my wife came up, take some photographs. She goes right over to him and says, Boy, my husband thinks a lot of you already. I go, don't start with that. I don't want him knowing all that. But congratulations, John.
Thanks, Rex. Joe, only been here about a year. Had some big shoes to fill. You're doing a good job, and I know the town of Eaton will be left in good hands, and you'll do a good job. You're a man of faith, and let that guide you, and you'll always do good. And it's an honor to have been working with you for the past year and to know you, Joe. So thank you. Take care. Yeah. I got to say something about Dave Jones. I've known Dave Jones since our farming days, and Dave, he told me when he first got here, he says, John, we're not always going to see eye to eye. He says, I'm going to be a pain in your ass. Boy, he wasn't lying. I'll tell you that. If Dave was a battery, he'd have 2 negative terminals. I'll tell you that. Pete, thanks for everything.
I got to tell a story on you.
Oh, God.
I got to tell a story on John. That's 4 to 5 days after I first got elected in the fall of 2013. My wife Kathy and I were doing chores, and barn phone rang. Kathy says, some guy named John Becker. Yeah, well, maybe it's a Maple customer. I better answer it. I go down there, and the chairman says, Pete, he said, if you're like most farmers I know, you've got one jacket. You wear it to weddings and funerals and special events. I said, yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah. And he said, I got a collection of clothes here. He said, I'll be glad to, I'll give you some. He said, you coming up to the next meeting? I said, yeah, I'll come back. I'll come up. And so I came up and I sat back there and I observed, and I'm thinking, what have I done? Why am I here? And so we go out to the parking lot in the back seat of John's truck, and he starts hauling out clothes, and he's putting them over my arm. And there's like 8 or 10 shirts and maybe a suit or two and a couple jackets. One of them looked like, one of them was this one. And he says, wow, yeah, what do you think of that? And I said, I think that's really generous. Of course, I should add, I ran as a Democrat. I'm come up here as a Democrat when you did this for me.
Oh, you need free clothes.
He I give me those clothes. So what do you think? I said, I think that's very generous. Thank you so much. And he said, well, you should be all set now. And I said, well, you know, actually, tell you the truth, I really like the looks of those boots you got in. I remember that.
Yes,
sir?
I do. Yes, I do.
But we had a lot of laughs, and we had some tears, and a lot of calls and a lot of talks. And you're known for your leadership, but I'll remember you for your friendship.
Thanks, Pete. You better get up.
You're gonna get up.
Take a picture. Evan, I've always respected you. And we've had our times back and forth, and it's kind of been like we relish it going back and forth. She needs to keep me in line, and she likes that. And but I'll always remember my time with you and respect you, and thank you very much. And the people of Hamilton are in good hands, and thank you. So, yes.
So, yes, I do appreciate the hard work you've put into this county. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, today is a great example, all the accomplishments that have been discussed. And, you know, you were talking about the mental health work that we've done, the report, and the actions that we've taken. And I think coming out of the pandemic, that was the day that I said to myself, wow, this is John. John is doing this. John is supporting this. And I guess I've been here for 12 years, so I've seen a lot of change and I've seen a lot of progress. And I think that kind of, to me, exemplifies John's ability to change and adapt to the reality of our world. And I have a lot of respect for that. I often don't agree with you. I often do agree with you. But I do
often not.
Well, more often I do agree with you, and occasionally I don't. And it is my job to be the person who asks the hard questions, and I'm happy to do that. But I do respect you, and I appreciate all that you've done for this county. So thank you
very much.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Rhonda, I've only known you a short time, but you've been a great public servant to the people of the county and the townships as the assessor. And thank you very much for all your service. And it's been great knowing you and having you on our board also. So good luck in our future.
Thank you for your help and guidance, and I'm very, very grateful for it. And
Thank
I will miss you.
Thank
I'm
you.
I'm gonna
Miss
cry.
you. No, don't. John, this is the second trip around for us.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
Yeah, and Town of Lenox is in good hands, and thank you for all of your service to Madison County, and I know we appreciate it. You carried many roles here and done a good job, and thank you very much for it. So, yes.
You will be missed.
So-
You really will. You've done fantastic work. I did wear
The red tie.
red tie.
Absolutely. So we'll go with the missed part because in a meeting one time, I'll tell about town board. So John Button, one of my judges, and I have never agreed on anything. And John is a man of faith, and it's like oil and water. And we were in a budget meeting one time, and we got going back and forth, and John grabbed onto my hand and says, "I pray for you every day." And one of the councilmen was sitting across the room. He starts laughing. So we get all done, and in my typical way, I says, "What were you laughing about?" Well, he didn't say whether he was praying for you to do good or get hit by a bus, he said. Thank you, John, for all your service. Yes, thank you. Yep. Melissa, I've only known you a short time. You've got probably one of the toughest towns in the county, and you'll do good and hang in there. And I know the board respects you, and so thank you for all you've done so far, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Yes.
I talk more, but
I know. Greg, thank you.
Thank you,
Yep,
John.
Yep, thank you for everything. You, Madison's in great hands, and I know we've only talked a few times, but I know you're greatly respected here at the board, and you're a man of integrity, and appreciate that. Again, you're a veteran of our country, and thank you for your service, and we appreciate that very much, and keep up the good work. So,
I haven't known John that long, but I know one thing. He's a class act. He's gonna be really hard to follow. But with the support of this board, with a team effort, we'll try to do justice to what John has taught us and led us. He's like a commanding general in the Marine Corps, and I say that, I really mean it. A lot of people don't like the generals, but when the general speaks, y'all listen. And here in Madison County, he's done an outstanding job, and I respect that.
thank you, Greg. Stay there, stay in your seat, Alex, because you and I have to talk for longer than 3 minutes because we've been on the board the longest together. You've served how many years? 22, and I've served 18. Alex and I have not talked longer than 3 minutes. Alex is a man of very few words. He listens, he thinks, and when Alex speaks, everybody listens. He's like, what was the commercial? E.F. Hutton. Yes, the E.F. Hutton of Stockbridge. Alex, thank you for all of your hard work and everything you've done and your dedication to the county. You've been on the mental health committee for years and years, and seen Mike Fitzgerald and all the things that go on over there, and you've done an excellent job, and you exemplify public service, and thank you for everything you've done for your town and Madison County. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Yep. You gotta go longer than 3 minutes. So
They said I was here with Rocky for 6 years before you became chair, and I kind of had my doubts. What would happen? But I'm glad you had it, and I've enjoyed working with you. Best wishes. I've got 2 more years. I wish I was going out right now with you, but 2 more years and then I'm gone.
You'll get it.
Yep, I will. Thanks
Thank you
again.
Yep. Thank you. You? I need a hug. Thank you. Come here. Thank you. I love you. Here, bud. Here.
Wait, where's that sharp Clark?
Sharp Clark. Mary, who wanted the hug? Yeah, you don't get one. Mary Kavanaugh, class act, let me tell you. She is a woman of integrity. When we're at NACO and NISAC, she carries herself well. She carries herself as somebody from Madison County and is very well respected. And I respect you, Mary, You'll go far. You've done good in life, and you're a good public servant. And as I said, you're a class act, and thank you for everything you've done for me and for all of us. So
We've been through a lot, John, and I wanted to thank you. Really gonna miss your leadership, but most of all, your friendship. You wish
I'll
you the
still be
best.
around. So we'll drink some Manhattans.
Well,
So that's, thank you, Mary. The presumptive successor, my friend. So I'll tell a little story. So we were at NACO last year.
Can't tell.
I can't tell this story. Yeah, we gotta tell this story. So we're at NACO. We're at NACO last year, and the Manhattans were going pretty good. Mark, he's lightweight. He goes home early. So Matt and I, of course, Matt's on painkillers besides too, because his back. So yeah, so we have had a few Manhattans, and everybody knows I can't stand vegetables. I hate them damn things. So I won't eat vegetables, hummus. I'm not, that's funky stuff that like Zoop would eat. No way. Not eating that stuff. So we're drinking, and I got hungry, and I says, we got to order something. Mark says, what do you order? I says, I don't know. So Mark leaves, and Matt's there with me, and I ordered hummus and chorizo.
Spanish stuff.
It came, and Matt and I were like locusts eating that stuff. and Mark goes, what are you guys eating? Chorizo and hummus. Mark's going, hummus? You wouldn't eat that stuff. I says, it's good. I said, we need to order more. So, yeah.
It's a vegetable.
Yeah, it's a vegetable. So, yeah. And Matt, thank you for all of your hard work. And I know that your heart is in Madison County, and the right reasons are there. And I know that we're going to go from here to here, and your leadership will be valued. And thank you for all you've done for me and everything you've done for our community. And I appreciate that. So.
Thank you, John. Quickly, my first meeting when I was sitting back there, Mary was sort of tipping me off of what was going to go on. There's going to be some fireworks, and John and Rocky got into it, and they were going back and forth and screaming and yelling. And I look over to, I can't remember who went in with it. I said, am I in British Parliament or am I in Madison County? Holy crap. What did I get myself into? But I got to tell you, coming from private enterprise and being in industry for a while where it's, it's a dog eat dog world. And if you're not good, you end up on the sideline. I'm so impressed with this county. It's run like a Swiss watch. I tell people that all the time. And it's a testament to John and all the people around the horseshoe and the people that came before us. And the most important thing that we can do, okay, is keep that Swiss watch running. And it's very, very important that we do that as a team. We've got some really, really smart people in this room. And I'm just proud to be able to sit here and be part of the team. And I see he got all these parting gifts and everything. I want to give you something that I think is close to your heart here. Happy Hanukkah.
Where was that? There in your
It's
drawer?
been
That's
there
right,
for
man.
years. It's been there for a minute.
It's like the fruitcake that keeps going back and forth at Christmas.
Thanks, man. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Joe, enjoy your retirement, and thank you for all of what you've done. We'll miss the spirited debates, but you exemplify a true public servant also, Joe, and thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you, sir.
So,
Appreciate
yes, sir.
it.
Yeah. And this one here. So when they were looking for a new supervisor, and I talked to Matt and I talked to Mary, I says that Brandy would be a good one to come up to the board. She's young, she'll be around a long time. She'll learn the ropes and everything, but this is what we need. We need some youth for longevity here. And the Oneida Committee picked you to come up here, and I'm glad they did. And you go to NACO and NISAC, you understand how the county works and how it functions. And you're a good public servant, but you're going to grow more into the role. So thank you very much, Brandy, for everything. And we have a NISAC baby on the way, I think, that that I wasn't, I don't know if I asked her if it was okay if I announced that. Yes. We were at NISAC and Brandy and her boyfriend were there and she announced the other day that she's having a baby. And so it was around NISAC. So I don't know where Steve Aquario went, but there's the NISAC thing anyway. So everything will come out good and you'll have to, the baby's name will have to be Steve or somebody associated with NISAC. NISAC. Think of a funky name for NISAC. So thank you, Brandy, for everything and we appreciate it.
Thank
So,
you.
yes.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to thank our treasurer, Cindy Edick. She will be leaving next year or the year after.
I can't say, I haven't told Todd yet.
Oh, okay. All right. She's escaping New York while she's still got her sanity. So, but all of your hard work and dedication, we appreciate that. And you're a true public servant also to the county. And thank you for everything that you've done. So, you know, and thank you for everybody. Tina, anybody that I've missed, all the office staff who comes every day, who give every day, Christina, Emily, that make Madison County great, that works behind the scenes to make this happen, to make game day happen every single month. All the resolutions are there. Everything's in order. All of the stuff goes in the newspaper the right way. You know, thank you very much. It doesn't go unnoticed and appreciated. And thank you for this day. And all of our employees, I truly mean thank you very much. You make Madison County what it is. And Mark, I'm going to miss you and thank you for everything you've done for me. And Dan, you're a part of that back there. I was a joke at two fat guys and the bald head guy. We did a lot of things together and you know, there's good things for you to come and we appreciate it. So thank you. Yes. Okay, we're good. We're recessing. So there is Manhattans in my office if anybody would like one, and it's after 1. So you might. Okay, so what do we got to do now? We recess. Don't need a motion to recess.
Oh, one more thing.
Ugh, okay.
This will be.
It's a funny thing.
Oh, it's a funny thing.
It's short.
It's short.
Just curse the Becker family.
Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is not beautiful. You. I was waiting for a board meeting. Came home from here, had a board meeting. And I'm in the park lounger chair, relaxing. And my 2 kids, of course, decide that they're gonna, you know, give me the cowbell. I dozed off. And of course, my wife is standing across the room videotaping that. And yeah, so I said it wouldn't have been too funny if I had a heart attack in front of you. Oh, but you didn't, so it's funny. So yeah, so that's the last thing. Thank you. Yeah.